Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
Go ahead and call the meeting to order and ask everyone to please stand. We have the invocation by Pastor Elliott.
Thank you to the mayor and the city council and all the appointed officials as well, all of those of you who run this city. Let's bow our heads in prayer this day. Oh God, we are grateful for the beauty of your creation as we move through the summer. We know it's hot, but we also know that the sun is shining. We're receiving rain, and it is just a beautiful and amazing creation that you have provided us with, oh Lord. Oh God, we also thank you for the city of Lowell, for its history, its heritage, and for the way in which it continues forward today. We're grateful for all of its citizens and residents, everyone who makes it such a special place. Oh God, we ask that you would be with everyone this evening. We're grateful for our community leaders, and we ask that you would be with them as they debate and discern what is best for the city going forward. We also ask, Lord, that you be with all those who make this city run every day, many of whom are in this very meeting, but also police officers, law enforcement of other types, teachers, people who help keep the plant, for the physical plant going, Lord. We're just so many people that we're grateful for that love and serve this city. Oh God, in closing, we ask that you would always be with those in our community who suffer the most, those who are hungry and homeless and hurting, even at this very hour as we meet for city business. We pray all these things in the name of the one who comes, and all God's children assembled said together. Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we have the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Phil's father. Ralph Dixon passed away, and also Charlie Martin, the former mayor of Belmont, passed away this week. So if we could just have a moment of silence on behalf of them. Thank you. Now we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Public comments at this time. Anyone like to speak?
Candy Funderburk, 600 Rogerson. First of all, I know better. I know better. I sat on council 8 consecutive years, and I know how the meetings are supposed to run, and I know better. So I'm apologizing for the way I behaved in the last meeting, but sometimes these meetings get out of control, and you guys can't seem to control the mayor at times. And then the last time, he allowed other people to speak out of turn and not in public comments, and then I was emotional about something going on, and I spoke, and I should not have, and I apologize to the council. I also apologize to the police department. That's not how I normally conduct myself. And also, I was upset when Larry had laughed at me when I said there was almost 800 houses going to be built in the next couple of years. Well, I've got the figures. In the new development, River Heights townhomes are 70, they're built. River Heights Homes, 20, they're built. Lowell Woods, 86, they're about halfway done. Spencer Ridge, this is all north past the Poston Park area, 409, they're clearing land. Grove Street Townhomes, 168, they're clearing land. Lowry Lane, 18, they're clearing land. Grove Street down here, 4, still don't see how that was ever put in there. Mill Street's 2, that's 777 new homes. That's going to bring a lot of revenue in. That was my point, more revenue coming in so you guys can decide and do things more. And that's about 20%, close to 20% of being built. Also, let me see, wait a minute. I read on the agenda something about you're going to discuss property being sold and process of elimination. The only thing I can think of y'all are going to talk about would be the property that was bought by ARPA funds for a new police and city hall complex. And we bought that for a dime. You know, we got it well under appraised value with the ARPA funds that were put into general funds and was bought by the city. So I hope you guys don't really think about selling that property. I don't know what it's all about, but that's a great piece of property right there. And actually, after we did all the research, that's probably about the only spot it could go. Now, years ago, when Larry, I don't remember if you were the mayor or on council, your group at that time sold from Hillbillies all the way down to 85 to Ed Jackson. That would have made a wonderful spot down there for everything, the fire department included. But I hope you guys will just listen to whatever you're going to be talking about and don't even consider selling that piece of property, because even though you make a lot of money, but then what are you going to do with the money? Where would the new complex go? And that's probably about the only place that would be great for the city, right there in downtown, a new complex. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Okay. All right, I guess we need the adoption of the agenda for this meeting.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda for the meeting.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. We need to approve
Bates.
approval of the June 10th, 2025 regular city council meeting minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the June 10th, 2025 council meeting minutes.
Have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Tyler, you have a special presentation to the DOT people? You didn't have it tonight? Yeah, they've done a great job cleaning up out here, and I wanted to recognize those two folks, but we'll do it at the next meeting. Do you have anything else that you had a special presentation for? Other than the consent agenda, have a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Make a motion, we adopt the consent agenda.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. All right, the new business, the Tyler, I guess you'll have the next thing, the hazard mitigation plan.
So this is a resolution. The hazard mitigation plan establishes the broad community vision and guiding principles for reducing hazard risk and future proposes specific mitigation actions to eliminate or reduce identified vulnerability during storms and things like that. The adoption of this resolution ensures that the hazard mitigation is reviewed annually and every 5 years and specified in the plan to assure that the plan is in compliance with all state and federal regulations. This is something that we already are under. This is just to renew the resolution to make sure that it is up to date annually and is reviewed every 5 years.
Have a motion to adopt this.
Make a motion to adopt the hazard mitigation plan.
Have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Pass that down. Thank you. The next thing is the resolution number RS02-2025. That's yours as well, Tom.
Yep. So resolution. All right. Resolution 02-2025 is a resolution to be adopted and accepted by the City Council to accept the funding offer for the DWI project number SRPW 134087 for the wastewater system improvements.
Have a motion.
Make a motion to approve resolution number RS02-2025.
Have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Get past that one. Thank you. All right, the city manager report.
I gotta do 6C. 6C was a discussion for selling the city-owned property. So about a couple of weeks ago, I was approached by a group regarding the city-owned property, which is the property beside the church, about purchasing it. My recommendation on this is to keep the city-owned property for the future city hall and police station. My recommendation also for this project is to start this in the near future, which would allow for the sale of the two properties which are currently occupied by the city hall and the police station, which would allow for a redevelopment in our downtown, and it would also help grow our tax base. So I am in favor of keeping the property.
Just to be clear, I think a condition upon the sale or the purchase from the city was that would be a municipal-only build next to them. So selling that property goes to who? Who can you even sell it to?
So the group that approached me on this had already spoken with the church, and the church said they would be in favor of, if the city were to sell the property, they would be in favor of allowing this group to move in if it was accepted. But we would have to go through a formal selling process.
As it is right now, it's a civic property.
That's correct.
Correct. Okay.
But again, I'm in favor of keeping keeping the property and not selling it, and moving in the near future of developing the city hall and police station at that site.
I'm all in favor for keeping the property, and also with Councilman Robinson and Councilman Chitwood not being here, I don't think there's much of a discussion between. I would like them present to have that discussion, but I'm totally against selling city property.
I think I've made it very clear in previous meetings, I'm not selling any city dirt. So,
Okay.
I think it's a good idea to table it, so everyone's here. I think that's good, and we can have discussion with the whole board. That's a good idea, Phil, to put it off to everyone's here. All right, have anything else, Tyler, as far as city manager report?
I'm done with 6C. I can move on to 7A.
So that's the table?
Yes, we can table to the next meeting.
Yeah, the city manager report.
Yeah. So just a couple things. I know I'd sent an email out last week with some updates about what's going on within the city. The Harold Rankin project is moving through the design process, and permits should start around sometime in August. I will be getting an updated site plan with the proposals and timelines of when that project should kick off, but permits should be pulled sometime in August. The Recreation Center roof project is set for a pre-construction meeting this week. I did receive, and I did forward y'all the engineer report for the wastewater treatment plant, the preliminary engineer report for that. And with this acceptance of the resolution 02-2025, that will allow us to go ahead and move forward with that project. Once we have that information signed and the documents have been sent to the state, work can start. So once we get all those paperwork submitted, we will move forward with that. Just some development updates that I have. The Willow Creek Townhomes do have a set of approved plans, so they will be beginning construction here soon. North Point Development has a potential tenant for Building 7, and I was told earlier today that the lease for that building has been signed, and they'll be moving quickly to get the tenants in there.
I understand that's 500 of the total 700 feet, so
They're only
there's
using-
still
they're only using-
200,000 feet available for lease.
That's correct.
And just to make everybody aware, if you go back to the original agreement, they said there would always be 100,000 feet available. Okay, so they got 200,000 feet left in 7. They got the whole 2,000 feet of Amazon that was backed out. We don't know what's happening there. They got about 80,000 feet, I think, left in 4. Is that right, Tyler?
I don't know the exact
I
number.
think right there in 4. So they're not moving any dirt anytime soon over there.
Right.
Okay, they're sticking to their guns, doing what they said they're gonna do.
Yeah.
But you won't see any dirt moving until those buildings are occupied.
Right. So, the lease has been signed on Building 7. Spencer Ridge, if you've driven down that way, they have started clearing off. They do have approved plans as well. Lowry Lane has again been, started the process down there of clearing it out. They're still working on their construction plans. And the Highway 7 project, starting at Ash Street, they're looking to start in about 60 days as well, and they do have approved plans.
Is build number 7 completely in the city limits of Lowell?
No.
No, you don't
No.
have like.
We only have
sliver.
a corner of it,
We
yeah.
just got a sliver
Yep.
there. 4 is where 100% of 4, when they build it, will be in us. Outside of that, everything moving forward is
Gaston.
in Gaston.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have.
Mr. Attorney, you have anything?
I do not.
Okay, Scott, do you have anything?
I don't.
Mr. Bonham?
No, thank you.
Mr. Smith?
No, sir.
Only things I have, we need to start the rezoning process for Church Street on down to the boulevard, because that's the next thing that would make the city grow and bring in a lot of revenue and improve business potential. All this betterment deal that we just turned down was, a reason for turning it down, because it's just not feasible for us to spend $450,000 when we could have money coming in to help run the city if we just use common sense and bring everything up to date. These places on Church Street out here, it's ridiculous, the traffic they have out there, and also how we sit on our hind ends and don't even have anything for safety out there on Church Street. How many wrecks have you had out there, Carl? Let that train.
At least 5 I know of.
That's right, and you can't see, and there's no traffic things, there's no warnings or anything, and as it grows, which we're thankful that it really hasn't grown as much as we thought it would, because we don't have the truck traffic and things that we would have. But we have to be prepared for these things. We gotta get off our hind end and do something to help these people. And you're getting people hurt and injured, and I think we're as much liable as anyone in this country, because we don't have no safety features out there for them. How ridiculous can it be? And also, the monies that we're giving North Point for tax reduction, things like that, and they're not lived up to their end of the bargain in no way. I'm talking about it's all in place to where they get taken care of. But look at the citizens of Lowell. We don't get any. It's not advantageous to us. It's a disadvantage. We have to make up the funds to feed everyone, all the departments. North Point was a joke. It should have been studied and studied and studied, but they rushed to judgment, go in there and do what they wanted to do so fast. And now if you go there, we don't even have no traffic speed limit signs on Aberdeen.
We're getting those put in.
We gotta get them before you open the road, but you gotta get things in order.
You gotta remember what's in our dirt and what's not in our dirt. And they have done everything they said they were gonna do. They have lived up to everything that we've done. If you're referring back to the car place up here that never met their obligation, that I never received any of the benefits that we signed off on, not only the city, the state, or the county, I think it was collective at that time. They've never lived up their deal, and they've never got another penny for it. So,
I'm not talking
it
about
works
Echo
both
Park.
ways. When you prove that you've done what you said you're gonna do, then you apply for the tax benefit.
They've
and
already
then
applied for it, got it.
They've never applied it down there
For North Point.
at the car lot.
Echo
And
Park
North
was
Point-
turned down because they didn't fulfill what they were supposed to.
Exactly, so they never
We're not
fulfilled
talking
anything.
about- I'm not talking about Echo
North
Park.
Point has done what they said they were gonna do.
What?
They fulfilled all their obligations. They're not asking for any more than they've ever done.
Here's
And
where-
it's not North Point, the developer, quite frankly, it's the tenants that comes in here that you give the breaks to. That is in conjunction with the state and the
Yeah.
county.
I hate
So,
that.
the last one we did was, what's the name of the 1.2 million
You talking about Gastonia?
Rubbermaid?
Um,
Talking about Lowell. But anyway, here's the thing, I'm not arguing.
Newell
with you.
Brands.
Yeah.
Newell was the last one we did. We haven't done another thing since then.
But here's the thing about it, they still, listen, they get the tax benefit, not the people renting the building, they don't get any tax benefit. The people that own the property get the tax benefit, North Point, that's who gets the benefits, not the tenant. The tenant pays the lease.
Absolutely. They
That's
sign
right.
up for it, they know
They
the
pay a
deal.
lease, the property owner's North Point.
Unless they wanna buy it out.
I'm not in the real estate business, I'm in the money where our city has to be, we have to stand up and take what's.
I can
of
tell
us.
you
I
that
think
the
it's
tax
both.
rate,
The tenant does apply on the personal property, and there is some, you're correct, that a lot of it goes to the
It's
developer,
leased,
but
L-E-A-S-E-D.
the fixtures and the personal property is part of the tax benefit
Yes,
that the tenants.
but they get a hell of a benefit, they get a big reduction in what they pay. If you only knew what they paid, you'd be as sick as I am, they get a hell of a discount.
I
All
can
this
tell you
stuff-
this, what the property was paying in taxes prior to development is much,
Phil,
we're,
he can
is
tell
much,
you
we're getting much greater now.
Let him tell you
Than
how
the
much
reduction.
revenue you're getting. Tell him how much revenue you're getting.
I don't-
And look at the property, listen, the property values itself, the houses, the
I know
homes, and
the
the property,
figures,
and all, listen. And all the property there was equal, better, listen, and I'm gonna tell you who got cheated were the people living in the neighborhoods that have to suffer every night, every day with all these trucks and things. They were there to buy a home to be in a residential area. They came in here and run over everyone to get this done, and that's what happened. And we're all suffering because of it. There's nothing there that's gonna benefit us. What is it? What is it? You give them free tax, you give them 70% tax break
No, you just wrong.
for years. I'm not wrong, and you, just like us, we all pay property tax too, Phil.
And back to your traffic control down there, Mayor, that's, South Church Street is a state maintained road. Correct me if I'm wrong,
It
but I
is.
don't think the city
But it's
has
in-
any rights of.
It's in the city limits of law. We need to require the
It
independent.
don't matter if it's in the city limits of law or not, it's a state maintained
Sure
road,
it is.
and the state has to approve what kind of traffic, common measure devices, whatever they're gonna put down there.
So you're saying.
We can't just go out there and throw up 2 stop signs on Church Street or throw up
But
traffic
no,
lights.
the council can authorize the city manager to get in touch with the state, to come in here and update these things and save our people's lives and stop all this damn losing valuable pieces of property, cars, and I don't know how many, there's some major wrecks out there with injuries. You can't even see coming up, you've been down Church Street, you come off Aberdeen, you think it's safe?
Now, here's
One of the
what I will
things
say
about
to
it,
you
this.
there's
think it's
stop signs
safe?
on either
I
side,
said,
so
is it safe?
if you
Hell
pull
no,
up.
it's not.
I've been down
I
through
can
there
only
and I
tell
don't
you
have a problem.
this, Mr. Bates, thank you, and I agree with everything you said. We have a reconstruction, a realignment coming through right now that's gonna connect to that. And if the state and the feds wanna come and do something at that point in time, they can do it. If they don't do it at that time, we can address it. I can tell you this, as a result of our city manager and a couple of us calling the developer, we got the bushes mowed down so you could see up Church Street where they had all that stuff up there before, and the bank knocked down. So, you know, we've done what we can do to this point. It's not like we're not aware, we're not trying. But at the same time, if you can't obey a stop sign, if you can't look both ways before you cross, I don't know what you do. I do it every week. I did this morning. Every Tuesday, I do that, okay?
But there needs to be speed limit signs there, breaking down the speed
If
limit
there
to
are
20
already
miles
speed
an
limit
hour.
signs
You got
there.
school bus traffic, you got all kind of things out there that need to be taken care of. We can't sit on our hind end and not do nothing, and just sit up here and say, okay, it's gonna protect itself. No, it's not. You have to put safety features in place, whether it be, I know we can't do it ourselves, but we can recommend it to the state. That's all I'm asking.
What I'm saying is they're already there. If we
Where are
can't.
they? You can't cross that
You
street.
can see them.
Yeah,
I mean, they're,
had
they're,
5 major
oh, they're
wrecks.
not posted speed limit signs on both sides,
It's 35
either
miles.
direction. And they're 25 on Aberdeen coming up. I can't make you do 25.
I'm
If
just
you wanna
saying.
do 45, that's your deal.
Plus Dr.
But it's
Larry's,
posted 25.
Dr. Larry's house
You
was
know?
damaged with dynamite and things like that. You know, those people being harmed out there, the whole
It's
neighborhood.
25 on,
Listen, I ain't talking about your speed limit sign.
What you
I'm
call
talking
it?
about the houses been damaged out there and the property owners is losing their butt because their houses not worth what they were before because of North Point. When North Point came in here and paid all that money to 2 or 3 residential people, they did pretty good. But the people that are left behind are not. That's why it needs to be, you gotta use common sense. You don't think Church Street down that way should be commercial property. You got the movie theater, you got the mall. You've only got like 15 or 20 pieces of property. But the city needs to move forward to where people come in and buy that property and do something good with it rather than be stuck with these houses. The houses not bring as much money, but the commercial property will.
I don't have an issue with rezoning, if that's what they
I'm
want
talking
to
about,
do.
we need to, with this,
But the fact
with
of the
the
matter is,
zoning
you're
board
telling me
review.
people are hurting when,
they are hurting.
because of their property value, and I don't think that's correct.
You don't think it's correct?
Yep.
You talk to your homeowners out there, you'll find out. They've all been harmed. And just like
Nope.
the people that live on, what is it, Lynn Street? We got the lift station down there, we're having to go in there now and spend money. That when they should have encompassed the whole area and put an access road down Lynn Street, bought all that property and got those people out of harm's way. Now we're spending, what is it, $800 some thousand to fix the lift station.
Of grant money that we got
I'm
from
I'm
Ron.
not talking about that, I'm talking about we're having to do it because of the necessary, it's necessary to do it, yes. But look at the money it's costing the city of Lowell when they should have been the ones that have to pay for it because they're the ones that destroyed the property. You can't go back and revisit things, I understand that. You don't get any do-overs in life. We'd all like to have a lot of do-overs in life. But that is atrocious out there, and when people keep getting injured, and we sit back here and say, well, the state, yes, the state should, but we're gonna have to send a memo out to the state, DOT, and talk to the people up there, and you, I guess you and the, whoever it is, DOT, the guy from Shelby, can come in here, orchestrate something, blinking, flashing lights, slow down, and understand, you know, when tractor and trailers start coming up down that road, it's gonna be terrible. And going across Kenworthy, that's the craziest thing that anyone in the history of Lowell's ever thought about. Letting transfer trucks cross Kenworthy to go down to Main Street. And that's always been a residential street, and it still is a residential street. They spent all the money to put the
Have
street
you
in
looked
there.
at the, master plan for DOT?
It ain't gonna happen because you gotta get people to sell their property. You got people out there like the
It's
Masonic
already
Temple won't
happening.
sell. You got people that owns property, they won't sell. You
It's
can't just.
already happening, it's already happening.
Chief, I have a quick question, I'm sorry,
Yes,
Scott.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you know if there have been any wrecks after council requested the bushes cut down and the bank be trimmed?
I do not, we have a few wrecks there in the past month and a half, probably.
Okay.
And the last
Seriously.
couple weeks I
That
have.
would be after.
After.
Off the top of your head, and if you don't know, that's fine. The majority of, what are the contributing circumstances to the wrecks?
Most of it very real runway, stop signs.
So it's people coming off Aberdeen,
Yes.
they're not stopped for a stop sign.
They're stopping and they're not completely looking and they go, while they're running the stop sign.
Well, they're probably speeding as well, wouldn't you think? You think speed's a factor?
No, cause there's a speed hump there.
I'm talking about on Church Street. They're flying down Church Street, they fly everywhere else. Why would they?
Yeah, but
They've
he's-
always
yeah,
flown
but-
down Church
He's talking
Street.
about
Question
yellow.
is,
But
are
he's
you
saying-
not stopping at
I know,
Aberdeen.
I'm talking about going down Church Street, crossing Aberdeen, crossing Church Street, people fly up down that road, they don't realize there's traffic there, like years
Makes
ago.
it four way.
Speed's never gonna go away, Mayor.
Well, you gotta
You
put
can
people
put
out
an
there to
officer
slow
out,
them down.
you can put an officer out there for 30 days straight, writing tickets.
I'm glad you brought that
And
up.
the day that he's gone, they're gonna be speeding again.
I'm glad you brought that up. Down Power Drive, you know, where all those people living, working those mills and things that go down there. Years ago, y'all set up traps to catch them out there with no license or nothing else. But the mayor of McCampbell called you, or called up here to City Hall and told them to stop it because you're causing them to lose employees. All this stuff, we gotta have a backbone and say, listen, whenever something's wrong, we correct it. We don't give a flip what the mayor says or what the council says or what no one says. If I'm an officer and I've got a badge and they're speeding, they ain't got no driver's license or whatever, I'm gonna take their ass to town. That's what they need to be.
When you
They
sit
called
there
up
and
here
say,
and
I
told
don't
us
give a
we
flip
don't.
what anybody else says,
I
I'm gonna do
don't.
my own thing, then we got a problem.
We got a problem with not
Never
doing,
will.
not obeying the law, and whenever you got people out here running down the road, no license, no insurance, and then the people in McCampbell calling up here and telling our people that you're wrong because you're pulling them over and writing tickets, you know,
How
that's
long
the
ago
truth.
was this, Mayor?
It's been a few years back.
Okay.
And we still got the same problem. No one's pulling them over now. They run up and down beside your house every day.
Campbell
It's
City
not yours
No
either.
license,
Believe
no.
me, it's us, and we know the biggest contributor right up there around the bend.
What is it? Around the bend, what is it?
You know who it is,
What?
the business.
Where?
I'm not gonna do that in open forum, but we'll talk about that offline. But I'll tell you this, they're running power right next to the school right now.
Flying.
I don't know, but they're about to develop that. So we got more coming towards us.
That's what they're developing out there for that subdivision, that's how they're gonna get the sewer down to the sewer plant. That's the only way they can get it there. And if you give them any permits and permission to do that, we got all those new power
They
poles out
don't need any
there.
permission for us, that's
They
all
have to have
mechanical
permission to
dirt.
come off of the Spencer Mountain Road out there to go in there to take their sewer away. They gotta have, they're supposed
If
to be
they have
paying
not
all of it.
requested sewer or water access from the city of Lowell, they can do whatever they want to, it's not our dirt.
Listen, they have to pay for everything, all the upfits on Spencer Mountain Road, all the stuff going through the woods to the sewer
I'm
plant.
talking about Power
I'm
Drive.
talking about Spencer Mountain Road, going into Power Drive, going through the backwoods, going in there to dump their sewer into our sewer plant, where they gonna put it?
We've
the
already
new
taken care of
subdivision.
Spencer Mountain, that's
They're
done.
paying for it, they're supposed to be paying for it, we're not.
Yes.
But we're gonna,
I'm
we're gonna
talking about Power
suffer.
Drive where you made the sink last year, and now they're gonna do their own thing, and we're gonna be cut out, so.
How we gonna be cut out? We
We're
never
gonna
was
have
in
to
it,
pay
we
to
didn't
move
own,
that
we didn't
sewer
own any
line.
property down there to start with.
We're gonna have to pay to move the sewer line.
What? We got to pay to do what?
$1 million, move the
To do-
sewer line. Instead of allowing them to tap in, we're gonna have to move it.
We don't have to do anything.
And
for
they're
those
gonna
people.
do
That's
whatever
what,
they wanna
that's
do
where you're
anyway.
wrong. McCampbell's always controlled this city. McCampbell got free, almost free sewer
Am I wrong?
for years.
Exactly.
They almost got free stuff for years until I stopped it and made them pay up for a fortune.
You stopped
And
it
yes,
last
sir.
time, and we're
I'll
about to pay
stop
for
it
it this
again
time.
because they
so
have to. They have to pay their fair share, just like you and I do.
That's it, man.
And people speeding up down the roads, and I hope, God forbid, to hit any child out there and hurt them or kill them. But there's no one's patrolling Power Drive. Why?
This is not ours.
What do you mean it's not ours? From your house to the Main Street's ours.
Yeah, that, but
Yes,
not the
sir.
other
That
way.
whole subdivision down in front of you is ours.
Yeah,
And
but
all
not
those
the-
people coming
not
out of
the
that
other way, but
mill,
they're coming up.
those people coming out of the mill, no driver's license, no insurance,
Yeah, I know.
that's in ours.
I'm not cursing. I
I'm not
want it to be
cursing.
patrolled,
I
don't
want
get me
it to
wrong,
be
but
too.
the
That's what I'm
whole
trying to
thing
tell you.
all the way up
He
is
tried to
not
do it
ours.
years ago, they stopped him, they said, you can't do that, well, you know, you're gonna lose your job. They stopped you, they stopped you from doing it.
No, they did not.
You said they did, you said he
No,
called up here
they
and
called
complained.
and asked if
Okay,
they
what-
would stop.
yeah,
They
where's
didn't
the-
stop
where's
me
the
from
arrest
doing
record?
nothing. I
I've seen
didn't
that
work
tow
for
truck
McCann.
do
I wanna see
45 when you
arrests
had that.
when people don't have
that
license,
speed
they
limit
don't
sign
have
out there,
insurance, I don't
45
want on the
up the
highway
hill.
with me. That's why Trump's got all this stuff going now to try to get them out of here,
Here we go,
and that's the truth.
here we go. All right.
We gotta get things done, and also, the main thing I want to bring up tonight was the poor people out there on Lynn Street, Church Street, and Eleanor Acres. They're maligned by all this growth that you say is great. If you lived out there, you wouldn't like it either. You wouldn't like all that beating and banging lights at night and things like that, and their property's not worth what it was. They've been harmed, but the only way it'll ever get better is to change the zoning on Church Street, from residential to commercial, and that would help some. And also, I gotta bring up tonight, and I know y'all don't like it, but it's the truth, and what happened with the fire department deal, that no one would come up and talk about, we were held, it was extortion, number one, by the county. They told our fire chief, and he called me at 11 o'clock, whenever I started getting aggravated, all this stuff, at night, and said that, Chad Brown said they either had to sign the agreement, or they could put someone in our fire department. And that's wrong, and we're paying 11.5 cent fire tax. And that's wrong. And our fire department's great, they're wonderful, they volunteer, and they all work. I don't know how many jobs the chief works. I mean, it's just, I don't understand how you can just turn a deaf ear to when someone's trying to extort money from Lowell. We're paying them for the last 3 years. They have made over $1 million from Lowell alone on the tax rate and what they paid Lowell. And all these other people, they told those other seven other fire chiefs that they had to sign and do it. And of course, when they backed down and the council wouldn't show up and try to do anything for them, he didn't have no other repercussion except to sign the agreement to save the fire department. That volunteer fire department's always been here forever. And I know every one of you told him that y'all wanted to see the fire department come back, but the only way you get it back is to vote for it. And their board down there did authorize them to come back. There wouldn't be no discussion about it. They're the ones that said it's okay if he wanted to come back. And that's the whole thing.
Here's the thing about that, as far as I'm concerned. Initially, we were told that they would be able to return next year if we voted to have them back. Now, we find out that there's a possibility they could come back this year, and an emergency meeting was called. The way I looked at it, it was trying to push something through, push it down our throat that I think needed more discussion, rather than just a meeting of saying, let's get them back.
a
Number one,
$600,000
Number
discussion.
one, what should have happened, I think, is if the fire chief wanted to come back, I think he should have brought his budget to the city manager, to Tyler, sat down with him, went over the budget, let Tyler work up the numbers to see what kind of tax rate increase we were gonna have. Then we could have further discussion on what route we wanted to go. But in the last meeting, Mayor, you mentioned for 4.5 cents, then we could get the fire department back. There's no way. 4.5 cents would only be about 300,000, and they're not operating on
No,
300,000.
and here's the thing too,
That's
we
down.
know, and you knew, Mayor, before you started all your shenanigans, that nobody was gonna be here, that all the facts weren't here in front of us, and this, this, this. And right now, you can do your closing comments all you want to. We're not gonna debate the fire department right now in your closing comments. So finish what you're gonna say, and we'll close it out, we'll go home. And if you wanna bring it up as a budget item later, we can do it. But right now, we know the deal, so finish your deal,
But
and let's
here's the
go.
whole, here's the whole thing about him. You don't like the fire department because of the way it's handled with Mr. Attaway. I understand that.
No,
The
no,
chief
you
understands.
don't put words in my
I'm
mouth.
not putting
You
no
don't
words in
know
your mouth,
that.
I'm telling you the truth.
Finish your closing comments.
You have
let's
made an
close
ass
this
out of
meeting.
yourself for this whole town, because you wouldn't attend the meeting, because you said, you told me on the phone, you had no interest in it. That's exactly the words you told me.
That's exactly what
Yes,
I
sir,
told you.
exactly.
Yes.
And that, but I'm gonna tell you this, as an elected official, you should care about everything in this town, just like I do. We're all we've been ambushed and extortion from the county, and none of you can count, and I know that, because he knows the figures, and he's getting a better picture of the figures here in about 2 or 3 more days. When Chelsea gets through with everything, see, we never been paid for our 1 mile ETJ that we've had on Oakland and all outsides that they've cheated us out of for years and years and years. And it'd take $1 million in profit in 3 years, pay the assistant county manager, Wong, $250,000 a year at the backs of all the people in Crowder's Mountain, everyone that's paying that 11.5 cents. You have to look at the whole figures. It's extortion whenever they tell you that you have to do this, there's no repercussion, we're gonna take your fire department. That's bullshit. What we have to do is call an emergency meeting to give the council an opportunity to speak, and that's what I did. I'm not up here trying to take care of me, I'm taking care of everyone that lives here. We all have to pay that 11.5 cent fire tax, which is crazy. We own the property, the fire department owns the property. They have not had one piece of
Fire
equipment.
department does not own that property.
They got the deed. And also,
They
I
do
gave
not
them the
have the
deed.
deed to
I
that
gave
building.
them the deed. You gonna call Robbie Cunningham a liar? Call him. He's got the deed.
Robbie knows that he does not own
And
that
this is
fire
the whole
department.
thing. They have not given us anything, so they don't own anything in that building. But the council can sit back, kick the ball down the road, and never do nothing. And look, you're responsible for every penny that we're paying. We're paying 35.5 cent tax rate, which is good. That saved a lot of money because no one cut the taxes when you had reevaluation.
What was your
The
tax
biggest-
rate
the
for the
biggest win-
fire department coming back? 4.5 cents is what
Listen
you
to me.
stated.
Listen,
4.5 cents.
If you get all your money to ETJ, it won't be that
Like
much.
Bates said, 4.5 cents
won't
gets
be
you
that much if you
300,000.
get all
The
fire
fire
money that
department
you're owed
runs
to.
off of
You
600,000
get all the
today.
ETJ money.
It
and
will
everything.
not do
If
nothing
you get
but
back,
go up.
listen, the $1 million they cheated you out of, you sitting back here high and mighty, don't know nothing about anything, and try to explain something to me that you can't. I know
You-
every figure we have. What do you know?
You don't know half the
I know
figures. You come up with
everything.
Larry figures
I
and
come
not
up with
facts.
God's
I'm not
honest
sitting here
figures.
arguing with
Well,
you.
go home.
Can I be excused
Yes,
from the
please
meeting?
go. I don't think we need you up here. Yeah, go ahead, ma'am, sir. I'll give you a chance to speak. I know y'all are late getting.
Travis,
Travis made a motion, these
He counts as a yes vote, it'll be all right.
Well,
Go ahead.
He made a motion, so you have to like.
So we're done. We don't have a quorum, we don't have a meeting now.
yep,
Oh, Travis?
no, it's done.
Hell, let these folks speak.
No meeting, we're good.
I have a comment to make, please don't go.
I'll come up here. Yes, ma'am.
I'm from Oldsmar United Methodist Church.
I'm sorry. What is that? So,
We no longer have a quorum, so everything, the cameras and all that needs to be cut, correct? So we don't have a meeting, cameras and all.
I
I
love,
came over here to talk to you.
We
You
will,
can't leave.
ma'am, we don't have a meeting, we don't have a quorum because the council member got up and left. If you'll wait a minute,
Ma'am,
I'll come
I'm gonna
over
sit here and
speak
listen
with
to you.
but we
I'm
can't
gonna
have
listen
a
to you.
public.
I don't